Hello, this is me. I'm just doing a short little video in honor of the old shaman from the Saami in Finland. Here's a painting from 1935 of the shaman. In Finnish we called him Nestori. And he was a friend of my grandfather's from the First World War, and he helped my father after the Second World War when he had a post-traumatic stress syndrome. And he taught my family and my father so much, and this is true Saami work. They didn't take photographs since they believed that it trapped the soul. And then I talked about that. I tell you how he learned me how to do trance states. He said that I was born into doing. I'm not a shaman, I don't see myself as one since I lack the knowledge they have, but he said that the spiritual world was for me and it was meant to be. And here are what I wrote down, how he taught me. Since we all know how to do this, we don't need anything to go any courses for this natural thing. When you look at the sunlight play on a lake, you instantly get into this altered state a bit. And you can do the same with moonlight, or if you have bright stars or aurora borealis, or the northern sky. Northern lights it's called, yes. And then how you learn to listen. It is just like when you hear this high-pitched voice or crickets in your ears during spiritual work. But this is a way to practice in mildly, is to tune in to listen to only one singing bird. There are often many birds singing in nature at any time. And when you learn to listen to only one through all the other noise, that's when you practice the ability to also hear through the angelical radio, if we can put it like that. And then it was just like singing or humming or dancing. Just follow the rhythm of rain, wind, or hailstorm and thunder. You can breathe in the whatever way you like, just breathe in the rhythm. And you can write a melody following the raindrops, or I used to put the glasses out with different amounts of water in on a table out in the rain, and then the rain itself played a melody. So I thought that was fun to have. And if I had, I hate sugar, so I don't have lemonade or anything like that, but you can put a cup of tea or something out there and it makes a different sound, and in that way you can hear the nature play its own melodies around you. And here's what I'm master at, just be. And that's something we all do. Sadly I can do it for minutes at a time. That's why I keep on losing things and things. That's the second when you don't remember what you are doing and you think, that's when you are in a very deep state. You don't think about anything, you forget about everything, and that is the deep state. And so that is not something we must fight for in every way. You can feel that before you fall asleep, and just when you think that it isn't something you need to acquire or pay for, it is natural and it is within you. And then we have what I love to do. I'm a scryer. Look deeply into tree bark. And I see them as different maps. I love pine. Pine is my favorite tree. And it is, I see rainbows, I see gold, and there are these shapes that occur. And then if you look at the other side of the bark, you can follow it. There is mountains and trails, and I just love bark. I don't have anything here right now, but and since I never pluck any moss or lava or something like that, since it takes so long time for nature to grow it in this country, so it is. So I pick up a stone instead, or I lay down on the grass or in the forest, and I look in. So if it's like this thick, I look into it from the downside, and ants can be like elephants, but it is a whole new world. And you can see the sunlight coming through the raindrops, and it is beautiful to just look deeply within. And then you can follow the patterns of a stone or bark, or the shape of a flower or a tree leaf. And I just thought I'd show you some shapes. I don't know. I tried to pick out some things. This is, it was gifted to me. It's a desert rose, I think. It's like gyps, that plaster that they put on you in a hospital when you broke an arm. But this is the natural formation when it's humid and then it dries. And if I follow it through the rigs here and really go into it, you enter a different landscape. And even if it just is, it takes your focus only for a few seconds at a time, it gets you better every time. And here is one natural old stone. Like you see here, it's rough here, and it's like it is. So if you look through this, it shows you different patterns and shapes. I always like to touch and feel, and just follow this around. It gets like the labyrinth effect that some people use. And then I just wanted to show you the Saami art. This is something that tribe from where my shaman, they did this from, I can't remember the name of the tree, but they carved these little mortals. So they are handmade. And he gave it to me since he said that you belong to nature. Nature don't belong to you, but you belong to the nature, girl. So wilderness will always call to you. And then he carved this and burnt this in the fire. So he said that he should send the bear spirit to protect me for my whole life. And then he carved this out, and then he held it into the fire, and I keep it with me all the time. It was a gift of love, and that love that shaman had, and the kindness. So I truly loved him as like my grandfather. He's so special to me, and I will always love him. And that was before there were Michael Harner and this modern shamanism craze. So these belong to the Saamis of Lapland, but that's why I think that I must give them credit for it. If somebody Saami wishes to reach out, then I'm doing everything so that they can be heard. And we are always shifting through these states. Like when you look at a baby, they look at something that is shining and sparkling, and they are instantly in a altered state. And animals, cats especially, when they see something interesting. And you don't never have to pay for something that is given to you naturally, that is always within you. You can call it chakras, you can call it whatever you want, but that's within you, and it's always been within you, and it's your birthright to access those in different ways. And you don't have to force anything. It's just that you pay attention and sometimes think, oh, I forgot to do a thing, and then you think that, hang on, I forgot to do something. That meant that I had an altered state experiences when your mind went blank. And that will give you the confidence that you already know how to do it, and with a little practice you get better at just thinking about not thinking, and it goes very quickly once you learn it. And I like to, out in nature I always dance, since it's either wet or cold. And when I stay, since nature isn't flat, and if I stay on uneven ground and close my eyes, I have trouble with balance with old age now. That's when I hit the deep trance very quickly and can shift through this, since I fear of falling and hurting myself. I still walk on crutches here, so I learned to walk again without crutches here indoors, and learning to speak again after the stroke, but I'm still struggling with the last final steps of being able to walk outside without crutches. So that makes that I found out that since I'm afraid of falling, I wasn't in my youth. That's when it gets that I really go into these high places, since fear is it ignites everything. So it goes even quicker. So sitting on a balance ball or gymnastic ball or whatever they are called, those plastic big balls you can sit on, just the feeling of that it moves underneath me makes me to slip into different states. So I thought that this might be something of interest maybe for you, that you can try out as well. I haven't read anything about it as sitting on a gym ball or being afraid of falling might have to do with alternate states, but that's how I experience things right now today, and I'm getting better each day. So I just thought that there are probably others who suffered strokes as well, so maybe we can hear from each other and see what we can come up with. And as always, have a magical, magical day. And kiitos Suomen Lappalaiset ja nestorit. Suuret kiitokset teille kaikille. And don't forget the Finnish Saamis in Lapland, Finland. They are to credit for all this. So, bye for now and have a magical, magical day.